for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
For social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about...
The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't run for this, you change the plan. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 1008. Tuesdays, we've been talking professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg. I are in the lovely Airbnb in Ann Arbor. No, we're not in Ann Arbor. That was 2 weeks ago. Shoot, I am in Michigan. We're in Grass Lake, Michigan, actually. And strangely, and I have a start menu for some reason. And strangely, we are also in, that's something else. You don't see that, but that's okay, because I see that, because I'm on the back end, because things are weird, because I'm in an Airbnb. I'm 2 doors down from where I was a month ago when we did this, and it didn't look nearly as good. We brought a lot more stuff. Actually remembered how to do a remote and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyways, actually, there is a start menu in there. Anyways, so what am I doing here? No, we're here again for work here. We're just in Rochester, New York, hanging out for a Baja, and now we're on here. Mad Mike's going to join me in a little bit. That's why I'm kind of jumbled up a little bit, because I don't have my usual toss here, and we're remote and doing all that kind of stuff. But we do have in studio, wife of the show, Missy is with us. Missy, how you doing?
Sorg still has me chained to the desk over here. I've not been
There
able
you
to leave
go.
since he left town. It's been all sorts of interesting. Actually, I do lie, because Sorg, you did let me out of the studio this weekend.
I did. You went to do a, and Missy, if you could please just go over to this computer I'm on, hit the start menu so it goes away real quick, or move a mouse or something like that, because I know everybody can see that. But anyways, so you were at the Jack Pollock I Want a New Hip, presented by our friends over at 880 Wrestling. There we go. Now I'm a full screen person. So no, you were at Jack Pollock's I Want a New Hip show, presented by 880 Wrestling, for our friends over at the Warehouse. And I'm up here, and of course I feel so bad, because I can't remember if I was at work like a year ago, like I am here, or if it was when I had COVID last year. But I had to miss out on Jack Pollock's like retirement match, and now I get to miss out on the Jack Pollock tribute show, that sounds terrible, because it sounds like he died, but no, it was just his hip that died, and we were replacing it. And we're not trying to help him with his medical bills. So in the coolest way to do a GoFundMe is doing a wrestling show, of course, and getting a bunch of people and seeing a bunch of Pittsburgh wrestling together in one place, and parts of Pittsburgh wrestling history over the last decade or so that have never been together, along with some the new blood that he was a part of with 880 Wrestling as well. You got to produce that since I was out, and be a part of that as well. So I mean, tell me a little bit about your experience there. I mean, of course, I guess we do need to start with some of the do we want to start with the visuals that I had over here?
Well, for starters, let me just preface this with, so you've already mentioned the fact that you missed his retirement last year, and you were out of town on client business, so it wasn't COVID. You were actually out of town.
Oh, you checked the calendar?
I did check the calendar, and
Oh,
I
good.
remembered you were out of town, which is why you couldn't do it.
Why is he avoiding me?
But and that's just it. Is I told him that you had specifically scheduled so that you weren't going to be there, and then I told you that he had scheduled and moved dates in order to make sure that you weren't going to be there.
Son of a bitch.
So, you've got this. I didn't realize you'd already gone to graphic over here.
Yeah, this was the benefit show. You can see a lot of names. Unfortunately, Bill Collier, Agent Zero from TNA, wasn't able to make it for some reason, some scheduling conflict or not. You haven't heard, but they did reschedule one of the matches. But I mean, look at this.
Wait.
What's that?
So I see Jock Sampson in there.
Jock Sansom came back
as
the host of this thing.
BC Steele.
Mm-hmm.
There was another. All right, so there are two very important. If you've been in the Pittsburgh indie wrestling scene, there are two faces on this poster that were there that are not represented here.
Okay. Oh yeah, because there was lots of surprises at this show. Of course, we talked about Chris LaRusso talked about came out of retirement for this, and a lot of people represented in the raffle that they had.
Hold up for a moment there. Okay, so you're saying that Chris LaRusso came out of retirement for this match. Okay.
Yes.
Not only did Chris LaRusso come out of retirement for this match, so did Jock Sampson.
Mm-hmm. Well, relatively, he was not wrestling.
He wasn't wrestling, but he was
by
still.
the way, Jock looks great, amazing. Like I couldn't believe it when I saw him on video there.
Yeah, he's dropped a ton of weight. He's a completely different guy right now. Like it's amazing. So it was really awesome catching up with him. You had Sean Patrick, Pittsburgh referee Sean Patrick came out of retirement to do this show. We had Adam Montgomery.
Yes.
Came out of retirement also to do this show.
Great ring announcer that we've worked with on shows over the years. You know, a tremendous ring announcer. It was good to hear his voice again.
Yeah, so like we had a ton of people literally like dust off their ring gear and their knee pads and stuff in order to come in and work this show for Jack Pollock. So there were two really fun surprises that I was excited about. I didn't know about the one until I saw his nameplate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? You have no idea. I'm on your shot here. You have no idea how. Can you pretend to be as excited as I told you I was?
I don't know which one we're excited about more. Oh, the one you didn't have a heads up in advance?
The one that I had no heads up in advance.
All right, I think it's the one that won a match that night.
Indeed.
Yeah, so the winner, let me get this queued up here. The winner of the half-drank box of Bud Light is Jack Pollock's half-drank box of Bud Light Rumble. Jackson Argos, after 5 years, returns to wrestling, the wrestling ring, I believe. And that was so good to see Jackson. He's one of my favorites from back in the day, no matter how much he's yelled at me here on this show, and redecorated the studio at the time as well in Canadianese. So, and I'm amazed that he's like not mad that it's not Bud Light. I'm sorry, Labatt Blue, which is funny because we actually drove by the Labatt Blue. We drove through Canada today, by the way. Did Niagara Falls last night, and I feel like we were just like looking at things and just thinking of Jackson Argos through most of our 36 hours or whatever that we were in Canada here between our two events. So no, it was really cool to see him a part of that. So people coming out of the woodwork for this.
Let me give a moment for this. Okay, so I am running production. And like I said, I have no idea that Jackson Argos is on this show until I see his nameplate pop up. And I'm just like,
you didn't do the graphics. So wait,
I didn't do the graphics.
So you found out in the Rumble?
Yes. I found out that Jackson Argos was there during the freaking Rumble when his name was announced.
So
is when I found out about Jackson.
So Dee did the graphics there. And I think we're going to get to that part. No, we're not that. I'm trying to find it in the show here. And literally you found out when he goes out, which is really fun when you get that kind of thing in production.
So that's the thing. Like, I am just absolutely ecstatic that Jackson Argos is on the show. So I made it a point after the show to go up to him and give him a hug and, say hello and everything like that. And he said that he was in the back And there was a breeze coming through because it was so freaking hot. We had giant fans going and we had doors open everywhere to kind of get some airflow going through. So the curtain going to the backstage would occasionally open. And we were trying to keep it, we were trying to keep everything, you can see here his entrance. Like literally I am to his left at the production table, just losing my freaking mind at this point.
Love it.
So it was phenomenal. Fans in the crowd were losing their minds too because he was not announced. He was not announced at all. And when I was talking with him backstage afterwards, he was talking about how they kind of snuck him in the back. So some of the guys didn't even know that he was coming in until he was there, and they were kind of keeping him sequestered off to the side so that it would not ruin the surprise of him being here. So it was crazy to see all of this going on. And like I said, I'm freaking out. So I go over and I'm just excited to talk to him after the match and after the show. And it was such a wonderful thing because we haven't worked with him in how long, Sorg?
Oh, well, geez, we haven't worked with Jackson in God, probably 7 years at this point, right? Because I can't recall seeing him on another show.
He was a little bit. Didn't they do that West Virginia Fed that we worked?
I do not recall.
Because I thought that they were out there for a minute when we were out there with
maybe
out in Charleston.
Oh yeah, I think he did pop up down there.
Yeah, because they had Team Storm down there. I thought.
Yeah, down in Conquest. That's right.
Yeah.
Conquest Pro, I believe. Right?
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember the name. But that's the thing. Like it was.
He's mixing up with Ty Cross, Matt Connard, Nick's Wild. Like it's crazy to see him with his like two different generations basically of wrestlers that we've worked with. Tony Johnson, of course.
Yep. So
great.
it was the coolest thing ever.
There's Peyton Graham, also looks great in retirement, by the way.
Yeah, Peyton was actually he was in there. He did he was
wait. Here's the thing. If you're on video with us, because I didn't see. Hey, here's where I found out. Finally, 880 Wrestling has ring steps again, guys. And Tony Johnson kept out of in the Rumble thanks to them and kept his feet on them.
Yeah, because I was like, "What is going on over there?" And they were like, "He didn't get disqualified." I'm like, "Get your butt over there and get me a shot on this now." So thankfully, like our cam ops are amazing. So they worked out. They worked out super awesome with it.
Good instincts. Like I am so proud. And it maybe when I'm in it, we're getting the job done. And sit back and watch the show back, after we got back home after avoiding the storms, and it's rumbling out here now. I think they followed us from New York. We may lose power, by the way. It just flickered, by the way. It's supposed to be pretty rough. And then you have to carry the show. But it's great to see again. Ashley and Matt were on cams, and they just have the instincts, and it's so good to see. Especially Ashley doesn't watch wrestling other than working with us, and loves doing it. So,
yeah,
but anyways,
exactly. So I think we have somebody else joining us at this point. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick to that.
T-Pop says, and this is something else that somebody else has said. Jackson Argos on the Mayhem show again. Jackson, it's out there, and I want to say this right now. If Jackson Argos comes on the Wrestling Mayhem show in the near future, in the next couple of weeks, we have a I don't know if I want to call it a door prize. We have a parting gift for the show that we picked up from Canada for him. Okay, so I'm putting that out there. Katie found something really special, so we are going to invite Jackson officially right in here live on the show. So Mad Mike, you're popping in here. How you doing, Sir Mad One?
Hi. Things are weird. I don't know. I don't know if I'm staying the whole time. I don't know if you saw my Slack message. One of my friends' fathers just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry. My condolences.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So I told her she needed to call. So if I dip for any reason, that's the reason.
We're on the fly here today, sir. So I know, Mike, just to catch you up, Missy did the production, the Jack Pollock show that we talked about last week, and we're catching up. Our friend Jackson Argos, I think you just heard, returned in the Battle Royal. And
is he the Rookie of the Year again?
He may be. You know what? Since it's been 5 years. He could reapply potentially to be a rookie of the year.
I think
he was what 2-3 times.
He was already. Last I remember, it was 2-time Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
It might be 3. I'm not 100%.
Well, we'll get him on the show, and like I said, we have a bribe for him. I mean, a door prize for him. I mean, a gift for him. So if he comes on the show, Missy, real quick before I lose power here, and you can just explain. Mike, are you prepared for Thursday? Mike, what should you be prepared for on Thursday? Says Tina.
I'm not in the city, so I don't have to worry about it. Also,
the Knicks parade.
I have to proctor several regions, so I'm not doing anything on Thursday.
Missy,
however,
let's table the Pollock show for a moment while Mike's here, if we may only have him for a bit. So tell me again, your however, Mike.
I did cop the Champhausen shirt.
Ooh,
I am waiting for that to come in the mail.
Brother, I gotta tell you, listen, I know this is a wrestling show, and I know I've been anti-sport, but that's been kind of changing lately. If you watch Wrestling Mayhem show tonight, you'll see one of the reasons why. I'm sorry, the Awesome Cast from tonight, you'll see one of the reasons why that got to experience in Niagara Falls with FIFA of all things. But Mike, we watched the end of that game 3, was it? Oh my God!
Wait, which one was it?
It was the comeback. It was the
that was game 4.
The game 4, thank you. So it was the second one in New York, right?
Yes.
And
it was the only thing we did find out. The only thing that can beat the uncursing of Danhausen is the cursing of the Donhausen.
Yeah. So there's a game right after that, right? The game right after they lost. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So and just to watch that last half a quarter of that game was one of the most magical sports experiences. And again, I've just been generally not watching sports, but we got the notification. I forgot what we were sitting there doing in the Airbnb, and we're like, I gotta see this. I gotta see how this is going. I gotta see the people in Madison Square Garden, just losing their minds. I gotta see Marissa Hargitay losing her mind at ringside.
Did you see Taylor Swift physically assaulting Marissa Hargitay?
Taylor Swift assaulting Olivia
taking her
Benson.
like Taylor Swift and Mariska Hargitay looked like Andre the Giant and Euchre from WrestleMania 3. It was the first thing I thought of.
What I'm hearing is Mariska Hargitay became an SVU person.
Man,
she became a victim. She became a special victim.
Kind of became a victim, yes.
Yep.
It's your turn, Marissa. Anyways, no, that was so cool. Listen, man, I'm not following any teams. I'm gonna root for my Pittsburgh teams and everything, but I am freaking, me, I want to go to WrestleMania and feel that stuff, right? And to watch that TV in the moment in something really cool like that I've been hearing the buzz, obviously with the wrestling show and Danhausen, and to catch all that is crazy. We talked on the other show how crazy it is that Elmo now has heat.
Elmo's dead to all of New York.
Oh my God, poor Elmo.
By the way,
well.
Also as a response to this, I got tickets to Saturday night's main event in the Garden.
Brother, good on you.
You want to talk energy?
You
want to talk energy? If WWE does not open that show with Jalen Brunson and Danhausen in the center of the ring, they are fucking morons. I don't care what match you have planned. I don't care. It could be the return of John Cena versus Roman Reigns. I don't give a shit. It could be somehow the resurrection of the Macho Man Randy Savage versus Cody Rhodes. I don't care. You open that show with Danhausen and Jalen Brunson. That's how you open that show. And you just let the crowd get it all out for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the show, because that is how long the ovation will be.
I want to watch that live. I really want to be there live, honestly. That sounds tremendous, because I know how the Garden works. What's that?
Tickets weren't that bad.
Tickets aren't that bad. All right, I might have to get those quick if depending on if they announce anything going into it, because I feel like they're about to for that kind of thing. So, but
luckily it's still over a month away, and we still have a pay-per-view before then and all that
Sorg is avoiding SummerSlam this year. It's a little further away, but it's not that hard. Is Megabus still around? I might hop a Megabus and join you up there. Who knows? But that's a discussion for off air. So hey, good on you. Hey, I didn't even think about it. I was in your state here a couple of days ago too, out in the Rochester area. I know that's completely down the road from you. So
no, yeah, hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, just like Pittsburgh to
Hop,
Philly.
skip-
It's just
hop,
like
skip,
it's like
and
10
a jump.
minutes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
It's all connected in the great circle of life.
Oh my God, was I sitting in? Yeah, I was sitting in New York when it was happening, wasn't I? So, anyway, so congratulations to you. Good vibes there,
I'm not a Knicks fan by trade. I'm
no,
not. I haven't had a basketball team to root for since Michael Jordan retired
right,
because I was a Jordan guy.
but you can't.
However,
Yeah.
do I want to see Danhausen get paid? Because
Mhm.
my God, the amount of money he's going to make off of merch. I even heard, and I don't know if this is true, I heard they're working out a special licensing deal between the Knicks and Danhausen.
Well, they have shirts already.
No,
Right.
no, but I mean like for him to be featured as part of the Knicks Garden memorabilia for next season.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it can't
Like
be
like
too
I,
hard.
I've heard that.
It
Like,
can't be too
and-
hard because Fanatics does all their stuff, right? So
Yeah, exactly. And Danhausen tweeted maybe the funniest thing. He said Danhausen's only been with WWE for 108 days. Think about that.
Danhausen.
Every single person I've explained this to is flummoxed by the sheer amount of coincidences that have had to have happened. And by the way, Danhausen also was asked to curse the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes won the next 3 straight games. So it's not an aberration.
Yeah,
It's
Danhausen. Somebody congratulated Danhausen. I saw on Threads for winning both the Stanley Cup and NBA championships in the same weekend.
First to ever
by
do
proxy. Yep,
First to ever do it.
First ever to do it, man. You know,
That's
great.
That's Bo Jackson territory. That's Deion Sanders territory. Like
That
he's
we're
up there.
talking Bo Jackson and Danhausen in the same breath for this relatively same-ish reason. I can't wait for man. Bo Jackson had a cartoon with Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky. I'm waiting for Danhausen's.
I'm
Did you,
well
you,
aware.
you see this? Ron Funches, friend of Sorg, Ron Funches. I met at Lucha Underground one time. He tweeted that, threaded, squonked, squirted, whatever we call it these days. He said that he was working with Danhausen a few years ago to try to create a cartoon around his character, and it didn't get accepted. Could you imagine? I think it's happening now, right? In some, it's got to come up again, right? Like Netflix could do the cartoon, with
A very
you know
nice,
what?
very evil
Listen-
cartoon.
Listen, if the team that did the Masters of the Universe Revelations, which I've been rewatching with Katie because she hadn't seen it before, and we got past the part where everybody died, so I think she's okay now. So spoiler alert: the Master of the Universe Revelations and the Castlevania team does a Danhausen cartoon. I am here for it. So yeah, no, I'm here for all that kind of stuff. So I put Kid and Miz in there. You know what I mean? Like just
By the
let's
way,
just go.
Did you see the segment with Miz?
I did. I've seen it a couple of times. I made sure Katie watched it.
Here's what I want. Here's what we have to do. Next week, Kit Wilson, electrified, is John Morrison.
What?
He comes in, he does the pose, the hair is all flowing and they're just Miz and Morrison again. That is the next step of this. Because
Okay.
you can't really go back to Pretty Deadly because, A, not a lot of people remember Pretty Deadly. And 2, he still does a lot of the same shtick. But
Yeah.
you need to have him think he's John Morrison. That's where this has to go.
Pitch it.
Where this has
Pitch
to
it.
go.
The pitch is out there. We'll tag WWE in it. Who's still
again,
booking? Who's still booking for
it's-
WWE? I'll
It's a
tag Triple H in this
$1,000
clip.
idea. It's a $1,000 idea that I give away for free. But like,
That's
if they
all
just
about the
end the
dozens.
segment with both of them looking into the camera and say, "Be jealous." I mean, Chris, you can have Maurice
can still-
electrocuted and think she's Melina.
Tina's saying that we can't do this because John's with AEW, but like
No,
the character
well,
still
but-
belongs to
no.
WWE.
Yeah. Johnny Elite is in AEW. You know who isn't in AEW? John Morrison. You can absolutely do that. We had a fake Geezer and a fake Razor.
Sure. Well, it's an interesting pull on that. But no, love seeing all that stuff. My yeah, show title, $1,000 ideas. Yeah, that's what we do. Um, absolutely. Um, so Mike, what other than what's happening in New York? I don't know. Is there anything else?
I'm upset by the King and Queen of the Ring.
Okay, I saw some of the results here.
I'm upset.
So what's going on there? I had to catch up with updates. Unfortunately,
No,
I'm
no.
so mad. There's a couple matches in there. I really wanted to watch the full matches, but I ran out of time and had to watch the
The full
updates.
matches are good. The full
Mhm.
matches are fine. The results are the most
You're
boring
you're
results I
you're
could have
not
had.
done. You're not down with Oba versus Oba Femi over Dominic Mysterio. I mean, everybody's complaining about, oh, they're not pulling the trigger on Oba. They're killing Oba's character, and here he is
No,
winning the
but
damn.
okay. His speech after beating Dom. I have no
Oh,
problem
this
with
I
him
did not
beating
see.
Dom.
Okay.
I have no problem with him being Dom. Like, do I personally have a problem with it because I want Dom Mysterio to be the king of the ring and finally call himself Rey Mysterio? Yes, that's what I ultimately want for him.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. It's going to be maybe next year until it finally fucking happens because
Maybe
it's the
next
easiest
year. No,
goddamn
no, no.
storyline you
Maybe
can do.
next year when he doesn't have the Mega Championship and they can put the main strap on
Yes.
him at SummerSlam.
No, but see, that's the thing. You don't need to strap him. You don't need to strap him up. You can have Dominic Mysterio win King of the Ring and lose the title match at SummerSlam.
Sure.
That's absolutely fine because guess
Sure.
what? It's not going to hurt his character at all.
Yeah.
But if he loses the match and said, guess what? I'm still Rey Mysterio, that's the story. Doesn't
Okay.
matter if he's champion. That's the story.
Okay.
That's like, and if we're doing like true lucha things, Lucha Stands Puestas for mask versus career, that's it. Or hair versus mask with Rey's career on the line. Rey Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. That should be at WrestleMania. But anyway, but
I would
the
disagree. That should be in Mexico.
sure, Triple Mania.
Mhm.
Fine. Either or. But the speech Oba gave after his match was a good promo if he had beaten Brock Lesnar. If he had beaten Brock Lesnar twice. The promo he gave essentially ignored the fact that Brock beat him clean as a sheet. It took a lot to beat him, but like they're kind of sidestepping the fact that they're 1-1. And that was my whole problem with Brock beating him in the first place.
Sure.
It's just like, and plus, there's no guarantee that Oba is winning King of the Ring.
No, of course not.
There's no guarantee.
Absolutely. Listen.
And if it's not Oba, it's Jey Uso, and nobody wants that. Jey Uso was the most boring result that they could have had from that Fatal 4-Way.
You have Oba versus Jay. And I think your SummerSlam possibilities are Cody versus Jay and Roman versus
Oba. Or
Oba.
or Roman versus Jay again.
Yeah,
with the tension in the bloodline.
I don't know. I don't think they're there yet. That not that version of the tension. Again, I didn't watch the full show, but from what I've seen so far, I'm not sold on that happening. But anyways, but we'll see how that goes. That is actually next Sunday. Is that pay-per-view? Or no, Saturday is that payper-view.
Yeah.
We're in 2 Saturdays. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself room here. So we'll see how they frame everything, and we'll see how we go with it. And the other thing is like either Oba wins this thing, or I think the more probably unfortunately in your mind, Mike, the more obvious thing is Brock is going to get involved and screw him out of this.
That was the case. They should have done it and have Dom beat him. Because guess what? Unless it's Javon beating Oba Femi, which it's not gonna be, Jay doesn't need that. If Jay's beating Oba, he should beat him clean.
Sure.
Like that's why you had like
wait. Javon, they haven't had their singles match on that side. Okay, so it's Jay
but
and
Javon is not beating Jey Uso.
But my God, if I want Javon and Obafemi, let's do it.
No, you know what? I want
Obafemi. Let's go.
I want Obafemi and Jacob Fatu. I want Oba and Jacob Fatu. That's what I want.
I think the greatest thing would be Oba. Though that's what I want, but we're beyond that at this point. Oba Javon would be the most like let's build a person, King of the Ring. I think we could do. How are you on the women's side?
I love Io. I love Io. You didn't need this. You had a potentially very interesting story with Raquel being there and Liv going for the finals. You had a very potentially interesting story with Raquel and Liv being the finals. Now it just looks like it's going to be Charlotte versus Io, and I don't care.
We have a lot coming in from the chat room right now. T-Pop still thinks that LA Knight is fighting Roman at SummerSlam because that's the story they've been pushing on TV. So I think whoever wins the King of the Ring is challenging Cody.
I think LA might get a match against Roman at Night of Champions.
That might be. Yeah, they may fast track it the next 2 weeks since they're doing that now. That's not gonna. That could be something they don't stretch to SummerSlam. SummerSlam should be the next show after Night of Champions if I'm calculating that right because they are the first week of.
Well, you have Saturday night's main event too.
We have Saturday night's main event, which is more setup than anything really. Pawner says their NXT matches were amazing. I'm sure we're referring to Oba and
Javon.
Javon, thank you. Sorry, it's been 5 hours driving through Canada today, so I'm a little. Spending all day converting miles to kilometers was a feat in itself. Tina saying, who lives very close to Canada herself, we have Night of Champions, Slammiversary, Great American Bash, and Forbidden Door all that weekend. On top of, by the way, Top Rope Tabletop will be Sunday morning that weekend. RWA is on that Saturday night going up against everything. No, I guess mostly, I don't know. I didn't see when Great American Bash. That isn't a weekly Tuesday show, but I'm not caught up on my NXT right now, but I'm hoping to do in the next week. And what else? And I'm going to ICP because screw wrestling on that Saturday. Which will probably have JCW, by the way. So I'm probably not avoiding it. So you won't be seeing any JCW roster on any Pittsburgh shows that night, probably. I don't know if anybody else is running other than RWA, but we'll see. Like
the Queen of the Ring. I don't know. It's because it just looks like they're building to Charlotte versus Rhea, and I'm like, okay, like they're taking all the wrong lessons from the good work that they've done building up Charlotte as a face.
Right.
The reason Charlotte is working as a face right now is because she's not in the main title scene.
Yeah, and I guess she's going back to the old version, so
And I mean, if she it would make sense if Charlotte actually becomes the Queen of the Ring.
Sure.
Because she already lives the gimmick, but I don't know. If it's just Oba, but Oba winning lines him up against Roman. Then when is the Brock match? If not in Brock's hometown. That's why I'm really worried.
I don't see us coming too far beyond that. Hey, let's move on to some other news. I want to say, especially it's a hard time, some rough weather, but if you have need any help with your gardening, that's okay. Hangman Adam Page has you over on the Blue Sky page, by the way. Where there's a picture of his flowers and a bee, and it says, quote, I'll do this for you guys on audio. Look at this happy little fucker. I fenced in the perennials this year, and the rabbits are starving, but the bees are slurping that good shit down. Get on your knees, pray to God, the birds and the bees.
I think that's a haiku.
It feels like it, doesn't it? My favorite emo cowboy, Hangman Adam Page, once again, just putting everything in perspective for us. So there's that. When was last week's show? Can I yeah, no, we had the show after. Let me double check this. Yeah. Hey, I got a studio update, guys. We've been talking about Cricket Next Door and how we're kind of waiting for something maybe to happen with maybe I'm hoping Rhea Ripley will show up next door for a signing next time WWE comes through town or something like that. I will tell you, we do have an update because Missy let me know when she went to the studio I think it was a Saturday or something. Cricket put a table out front of our studio, and no, we did not put anybody through it yet. But next time they do this, if any wrestlers want to come over and help me with this, let's film something with our Cricket friends next door. But I was waiting for okay, who's signing autographs here across from the taco stand? So just putting it out there, got a studio update for you guys out there. But it's following the saga of the Sorgatron Media alongside Cricket potential relationship here. So, Mike, I a couple here. I want to do a fun AEW thing, and then let's talk about something that's happening with the business side of it because I keep seeing these other announcements. Have you seen? You know what Andrade is doing in AEW now, right? With the ladies at ringside and taking the selfie.
With the ladies in waiting. Yeah,
the ladies.
He's really treating that post divorce glow differently than most.
It's really a tell me
funny,
you're just divorced without telling me you're just divorced.
It's funny, sir. Before we get into the Andrade thing, between Andrade doing that and Charlotte asking Danhausen to uncurse her dating life, have you not seen this?
No, I've seen the robe exchange thing, but I haven't seen the dating life clip.
The whole thing was Charlotte asked her to uncurse her dating life, and then Danhausen was like, "Well, I would need human monies, but that's a nice robe." And then they changed robes.
You know what? I watched the video, but I didn't listen to the audio. Apparently,
you got to listen to the audio.
I gotta go back.
Anytime there's a Danhausen video coming up now, I just listen to everything. I listen to everything because he is so you can tell he's been doing this character for a long time. He's very dialed in.
Yeah.
He's very dialed in, and my God, every time anyone mentions Danhausen on Threads, I just respond to the GIF of him opening that chest with the Pulp Fiction glow, and I'm like, Danhausen looking at his next royalties check.
Well, I feel like, obviously, and I don't want to get into the debate of, but just transition here of why didn't AEW take advantage of Danhausen in this way? You know what? I think they're taking a mulligan on this, and they're trying something because they have a new character. Because Leo Rush has evolved, and we've seen this really, and I'm really interested in seeing it because I think it's a really interesting, this creepy voices in my head, golem kind of thing. Like I said, I may have mentioned I was there at New Japan when he was starting his feud with Ali, and he was doing the black goo thing, and it was and it was kind of setting that off, and I worked on a promo with them on this, and to see his development into what he has now, and then to see them use it we've seen the parts where the conglomeration does if you don't move, he doesn't see you in the aisleway as he was making his entrance. So that was going around. But last week on Dynamite was the Andrade and Orange Cassidy match, and he replaced one of the girls at ringside taking selfies with Orange and Andrade. So I just think, again, that's one of those fun things. I think WWE is really good about there's a different vibe of how AEW inserts their characters into fun spots like this versus where WWE does, right? Danhausen is I don't know how to really kind of point my finger on what the difference is other than the feel of it. I mean, it's just the general presentation of the show coming out on it. A lot of
Danhausen stuff has also been backstage.
A lot of backstage lately, yeah.
Leo Rush's stuff is done usually on camera.
Danhausen hasn't been in a ring in a month at this point. If I'm not, obviously he's still going out
at least not on
TV during the breaks. Yeah, on TV.
He beat Miz 7 times on the European tour, which makes him a 14-time Grand Slam champion.
Listen, when you see Danhausen in matches about every week, every other week, and then hitting main event matches, then that's the oh man, I don't know if Danhausen's doing okay right now, right? Like that's when I start like, ooh, I don't know about
He
this.
doesn't need to have matches.
He doesn't. No, absolutely doesn't. Which means Danhausen could go for a long time because if he's not, because he wasn't, exactly doing 5-star super indie matches, when he was doing the indies, right? He was having matches. But like, bro, Jock Sampson versus Danhausen at Conquest Pro was, I mean, Jock always says I love doing a match. He's like, I always try to do a match where I don't take a single bump. And I was like, yeah, nobody needed to in that one, right? That was tremendous. The show should be still available on VOD over at indiewrestling.us if you want to check it out. But there might be clips out there. We should probably put some clips out there soon for that. But yeah, it's tremendous. So like this is just the Danhausen Mayhem show at this point, but he is wrestling. This is wrestling.
Mayhem has it.
And just because I came across this one's for you, Mike. Somebody's saying, why haven't I seen Jordan Grace? I miss her. Blake Monroe, I ate her.
And
Jordan Grace,
Pride.
Happy Pride. So there you go. Vibes happening over in WWE, and I appreciate that. So let's see if there's anything else I wanted to touch on here. Point of it. This is the business side of it. We've seen this. I know, Tina, you've been sharing a lot of these over on the Discord. We have a Wrestling Mayhem Show Discord. I believe it's still linked over at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. If you want to hop into the conversation there, if you're not a Facebook group fan, but. Thank you for including these, but I feel like, and I shared one of these to say, AEW just said, "Oh, we can be Triller too." They went off that, and there's some other companies coming off Triller for one reason or another. I don't know what all the business stuff's happening on that side. But there was these announcements about I think. What was the one? Was it C4 Wrestling was the other one? You're going to correct me in the chat room here, but I know like Limitless Wrestling. So other companies are coming on to the myaew.com. So they're I mean, this feels akin to when a lot of those Evolves and European companies like Progress and WXW came. ICW was one of them. Came on to WWE Network for a while, right? Which I love seeing.
I think it's setting up for something next year.
You think could this be like a forbidden door? Like this is limited wrestling in Maine. They have Maine wrestling.
Didn't MJF wrestle there?
That must be it.
I feel like Limitless Wrestling was where MJF wrestled someone. I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
MJF versus Darby Allin. They've wrestled there. MJF came back in 2026 as the champion, as a one night only return to defend the AEW World Title against Price. Price. Excuse me.
And then other ones on here. One FW from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm trying to see if you can see the infantry is a part of that. Color is that Rosemary that I see on that one? Maybe that's a different character that's similar. MJF wrestling there, of course. I think I see QC Marshall maybe in that one graphic. And then of course Capital City Wrestling, Capital City Championship Wrestling C4 out of Ottawa, Canada, and that of course has at least something with Josh Alexander. Limitless Wrestling from Maine. Produce. Okay, I've seen some stuff from Produce lately popping up.
Okay, the fact that Orange Crush presents for that. That's just...
Oh yeah, well Orange Crush would always remember Missy, there were commercials on our Warrior Wrestling shows that we used to do.
I understand,
out in
but I
Chicago.
appreciate that it's on Produce, and I'm looking at it as in Produce like lettuce.
I've seen some posters for this. I'm like, what is Produce? And they have wild cards from the look of things too. Like even this thing is like, I think I see Calvin Tankman on this against. Oh, is that one of the against? Is that Tracy Williams? No, that's somebody else. They were small things. You see Deanna Purrazzo
on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff. This is RJ's Road to Revolution. There you go. There's some classic stuff they're throwing on there. You know, they're building, like, it's like they're kind of coming. They're building their own WWE network. Tina's also pointed out that they are over on oh geez, Amazon. Like the My EW channel is popping up. Like, remember, TNA's been on. There's been a TNA Impact channel on like your Pluto TVs and everything for the last like decade at this point, right? And AEW is getting into that space. Called diversifying. They have, well, let's see, it's 2006. They have 6 years of content, right? So this is a way to reintroduce, remonetize, a lot of this stuff, running commercials against, or build something up into other opportunities, So I think it's really smart. It's and also putting it in their own hands and not depending on another platform, whether it be a Triller or somebody else for this. But you have the content, you have the channel already put together as far as like curating a Watch AEW channel that I have in front of me. Now you just point it at Amazon Prime for their freemium stuff, right? Or however that is. And then on and obviously internationally, it's a pay-per-view platform for them. Again, replacing the Triller that they have departed from. So any point where you can, maybe this is a thing that builds them up to get to that. Hopefully, not in the same way where WWE basically like, hey, here's our network. They created value in their stuff, and then they're selling off their rights to multiple, it imparted it out in multiple ways, and now we all complain about how much we pay for WWE and long for the $9.99 days of bygone eras, right? Gas prices and wrestling prices all going up crazy. But welcome to 2026. But yeah, no, I think it's an interesting move there. So, hey, we're getting along with this, and I want to get back to the original conversation, Mike, if you don't mind, with Missy here, because she was part of a really kind of special thing in Pittsburgh wrestling.
On that C4
oh yeah,
show,
real quick.
Danhausen is on there.
Of course. Is that? Oh, this is like a mixtape though, because I think it's just some classic matches with. And they're probably like, whenever they put this together. This is from June. Oh, this is June 15th. This came out Monday. So they probably just pulled like a lot of familiar faces. So I think you're gonna start seeing that, Mike. I think if AEW is smart, they're going to do the TNA thing, because TNA was always great. It's like, oh, Kurt Angle retired. Here's his entire history. Oh, Sting just went in the Hall of Fame. Here's his or just retired. Here's his entire history of Impact. AEW's got 6 years of content with some of these people there. Maybe moving over to AEW and helping the next one, freaking NBA. They'd be idiots not to put out all the whatever Danhausen clips they have. The first thing I see when I go down here is Danhausen on the road to Revolution. Like that's exactly what you need to do. It's riding the waves with the content you have. Little indies or indie wrestling.us just do the same thing. Raises all ships and all that. So speaking of raising all ships, we're talking at the top of the show about Jack Pollock's I Want a New Hip show. And Missy, you wanted to talk a little bit more about that. Again, there's a lot of great stuff on there, and it's free over on all the IndieWrestling.us platforms. We reposted. I know there was like a technical problem during the show, so we had a very, very, very volunteer staff that day. So things happen. So it's all right. But we got to repost it, and the important thing is you guys have fun with it. And you help out Jack as much as you can, whether you buy a T-shirt or donate to the Venmo we have connected, which goes directly to him and is going to help him pay his medical bills, honestly. So for this, he did a lot of stuff. Famously, Wardlow put him through a ring in a steel cage match. We recently reposted that match over on Facebook, I know. It was a really cool thing to see a lot of people together I haven't seen for a while. Missy, what more did you want to talk about on that? I mean, I think there might have been something. Oh, I don't know. Something like, nope, I don't have that queued anymore.
So one of the nice things that they did is they had a bunch of raffle items. So there were a couple of things that were sent in from Thea Hale. There was actually a really nice print artwork done by a certain Pittsburgh wrestler that used to do a lot of artwork. Mike, can you help me with who I'm trying to think of over here?
I don't know. I think we helped him with his lion face at some point, Mad Mike. I don't know if you recall who that was.
Lion face, lemon face. Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does a lot of stuff in ROH now.
I'm pretty sure he's a very pure wrestler.
I'm pretty sure he has a certain style. Leopard, no. Cheetah, no.
Tyga.
No, that's not it. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, him. Yeah,
Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, Lee
contributed, of course.
Lee Moriarty, he contributed. So there was some artwork from him, and there was a signed championship belt given by a certain wrestler who has now turned gladiator.
And the wearer showed up too.
Yes. Surprise. The entire place lost their respective minds when he showed up. So
turns out Wardlow doesn't like Italians.
Yeah. So there was a little tussle at the end of the show, at the end of the night. And these guys thought that they were just getting everything over on everybody. And the music hits, and you can see John's reaction. He's like, "Wait, I know this music." And I love
that good old Disturbed.
And I absolutely love working with our camera guys, because it was a wide shot of the four guys, and then they came in like on a close up, which was the shot that Sorg just showed. So we went from a wide shot with four guys across and Wardlow coming up behind them to just that zoom with the two guys with Wardlow directly behind, and it was phenomenal.
Missy had a good production day.
It was
what a game to it.
It was that right there was that awesome zoom. It was amazing. And then
hey, give credit. Whose camera was that? Who's on that one?
That would be Matt.
Yes, Matt, who's like every week at Tuesday. He's been doing tremendous, and his van is not creepy because he's in a band.
Yes. So Matt is phenomenal. We had Matt and Ashley at ringside, and they are two of my favorites to work with, because I don't have to tell them where to be. They know where to be. So it was great. Wardlow came in. He cut some promos. They talked about some stuff. It was, you can see in the checkered shirt there that's Jack Pollock. That's who the benefit was for. You can see him there with his cane. And
a month out from getting hip surgery, by the way, guys.
Yep, and he's doing great. So it was just a fun, really super fun night.
There you go.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Like I said, I talked about Jackson Argos just popping me because I didn't realize that he was going to be there. God, we had so many guys from so many different companies come in, and the conversation was, well, we don't wrestle anymore, but there are certain circumstances that we will come out of retirement, and working with Jack Pollock, he's one of these guys we would come out of retirement for. And a couple of comments were made that we enjoy these crossover shows because there are some wrestlers who only work for certain companies that we don't necessarily get to see as often on other shows or working within other parameters. So the conversation was had that maybe we should actually kind of, put this together as a specialty show that's done like quarterly, so that we can all just get together and hang out as friends.
We have reunion shows. It's the Pittsburgh Pro Wrestling reunion show.
Exactly.
Like, it can be the it could be 880 Wrestling. Remember these guys? Show, of a sort, right? So, I don't know. Maybe it is something where it can be like, we can do somebody doesn't have to be hurt, need bills, or anything to be appreciated, let's say. Let's have if we can show this here, let's have a tribute to BC Steel match, which everybody will just wear a leopard print jacket and slap fight all night long, for instance, like our friend Mitch over here.
Dude, this was one of my favorite segments with BC Steel and Mitch. Just
look at that right hook from BC Steel.
It was amazing.
I mean, he decimated every bone in his hand, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. He's a fragile. BC is my favorite fragile flower, and I appreciate seeing you in action there again.
And in all actuality, though, BC has been a manager type character, so BC's never really been in the ring.
He was a referee when we first started going to local independence. Remember?
Oh, I remember, because he had that neck brace at one point. as a referee.
That's right. That's right. And then I went over to McKeesport, and I'm like, who's this guy? Why does this guy look like a referee down the road? So, as things go in this town.
Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. One guy has like 2 different gimmicks in a referee, and now he takes pictures, So there's a lot of that going around here. So anyways, no, great stuff here. Great vibes. I love when a show like this comes together. This is why I like the pit fights, and I always love the charity shows because it was always like, it's a reunion for us too, because it's like, oh, I don't work for X company anymore, or don't go to these shows anymore, and now I don't see certain talents that just are in this neck of the woods. So that's a really cool thing to see them together and get matchups that you don't expect. I did not expect to see John McChesney, Edric Everhart, and MV Young in a triple threat, right? Marco and Andrew Palace was a match I didn't know I needed, out of this. There's a lot of fun stuff there going on. So go check that out. It's free. We say this not just like put over like watching the show on our network and everything. We're putting this over to help Jack out, and also to have fun. And if you don't know these guys, I saw our friend Eamon, the wrestle fan, if you will, was in the crowd there, and I thought it was. I want to talk to him about this and show, and he's like, be like, hey man, you got to see like all the people in person that we've been talking. He's seen on this show for the last decade or so, right? So that it was cool to see that happen, right? When I saw him out there, so. But yeah, Missy, great job on that. Great job putting that together and keeping the boat afloat for the show on a Sunday afternoon in the Pittsburgh neighborhood at Allentown, of all places. Can't wait to come back. And next week, you'll be presiding over Thursday Night Fights once again this week, free there on Thursday. And then next week, there's going to be Thursday Night Fights, as well as 880 Wrestling No Ceilings 2. Jackson Stone, the what is he, the Suplex Shogun, if I'm not mistaken, will be a part of that show. And then Missy, you'll be doing RWA's latest show, which looks like it has some fun matches already popping up there. So
if you guys see a trend here, Sorg is saying that I'm going to still be chained to the production desk for a little bit longer because he's having fun gallivanting through Michigan for his... How many times have you been out there again this year?
Oh my God, this is the 3rd time I've been up here. I don't know if I said this. Did I say this at the top of the show that I'm literally 2 doors down from the Airbnb I had a month ago?
If you didn't on this show, I know you did on the last one.
It's like exactly the same place, except they have different carpeting and a different couch. So, and we figured out how to actually produce this maybe look a little bit better. So, as much as Zoom is allowing this, I'm seeing a little bit of breakup when I'm watching here up on the YouTube. So, anyways, guys, thank you, Mike. Thank you for hanging out with us,
Sorg.
And
yeah, of
Sorg.
course.
Sorg. What did you learn in wrestling this week?
Oh, this is how we do the show. Okay, yeah, that's right.
I thought you were just setting up for that, but
no,
he was going for the send off.
I still have to edit this and get on a track at 9 a.m. Mike, you first, I guess.
Oh God, what did I learn? I learned that you can explain wrestling to anyone, and the current easiest way to do that is to just explain to any sports fan the legend of Danhausen. I have told my students about this. I have told fellow teachers about this. It's insane the sheer coincidences that have lined up in order to build the legend of Danhausen, where you can now look at folk on the street interviews outside of Madison Square Garden, where people will just come up to Knick fans leaving games and ask them, do you know who Danhausen is? And they'll say, oh, yes, I do. Danhausen was mentioned by the Knicks on Jimmy Fallon last night. And they said that he is part of their team.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I thought the highlight of this guy's career was going to be when he did an interview with Conan O'Brien, who is part of his influence for his character.
I thought it was also going to be like him getting to do the You Can't See Me with John Cena. Nope, scratching the surface because he's gonna be in promotional materials for the Knicks forever. That
Yeah.
the pop he is going to get in Madison Square Garden is, and I'm going to say this, and this may be controversial. It's going to be bigger than the Triple H return in 2002.
I think
it's going to be
Mike,
bigger than the end of WrestleMania 20 that we can't talk about anymore. It's going to be bigger than Shawn Michaels winning his last championship in Madison Square Garden.
Mike, this is
It's gonna be
why
bigger than all those.
Mike, this is why I want to be there in New York to hear this if I have the opportunity.
Mhm.
Because I think it's going to be bigger than the last pop I've ever heard in wrestling, which was CM Punk coming back for the first time to a wrestling ring at the United Center in Chicago. You remember Ice Cream Bar night,
Yep.
right? I think this will be louder than that. And that was
Oh, yeah.
the most ridiculous. I don't know if as many men will be openly weeping as that night necessarily, although they might.
No, the weeping will have already happened.
The weeping
because
it's a month past the weeping, but that's why it'll be louder because there will be less weeping also happening along with the loud.
I mean, who knows if Brunson is in the ring with him and has the NBA championship? I mean, hell, if they raise a banner for Danhausen that night, I'm going to lose my mind.
Absolutely. Oh, dude, I want to go just to watch you at this point. So.
Well, Danhausen has already said that he wants a one-day contract with the Knicks just so he can retire from basketball. Like,
I love
sure,
it.
give it to him. Give it to him. Just if they even as a bit, they hang up his number 0 Danhausen jersey in the rafters for Saturday night's main event. That is going to be the funniest fucking thing that you'll ever see.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Man, might have to make this happen. Anyways, bro, thank you so much. Well, yeah, no, wait, I'm closing before I did the thing. What did I learn in wrestling this week?
What did you learn, Sorg?
I learned a slap fight. I think slap fight promotion is the thing that needs to happen first of all. I learned that we get steps at Eddie Wrestling, which I'm sure Eamon's happy about, but I feel like it's going to be just like when he had that table, like we just got him a table for his stuff, and they put somebody through it, and this is why we can't have nice things at Eddie Wrestling. Specifically for Eamon, okay, out there. So so I'm worried for Eamon. Missy, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that I really miss my friends.
There you go.
Partially because you still have me tied to this chair, to this table, to this desk.
Well, there's that too. There's that.
No, but
too.
seriously, it was so much fun catching up with people that I haven't seen in forever. Like Jackson Argos, I didn't tell you guys the obscene thing that I did to Jackson Argos when I saw him. So, like I said, they had him kind of sequestered in the back in the locker room, so I didn't know that he was there. When I did realize that he was there, I made it a point. I didn't even start tearing down or turning off my set. I immediately started a beeline to find the people that I did not get to see and hug when I came in. Jackson Argos happened to be standing in relative proximity to me. So I went over and I was going to say hi. And he was chatting with a group of people. I didn't want to interrupt him. So I walk up behind him, take my hands under his arms, and just like start rubbing them up his stomach up to his chest. And
the universal greeting backstage at wrestling shows. This has happened to me a few times.
He has
Thanks,
no idea who this is, and I can tell that it is freaking him out. Like, absolutely, he is freaking out. And he finally turns around. He sees it's me. And the look on his face, his smile just got so big. And he was like, he's like, you guys have a thing in the back. He's like, I saw it, IndieWrestling.us. I didn't know who was covering the show, if it was going to be you or if it was going to be Sorg. Is Sorg here? I'm like, no, Sorg's traveling. He's like, oh my God. He was so excited to see us. Well, to see me. I was so excited to see him. It was great. I may or may not have humped BC Steele's leg. I mean, that was also a thing that very well could have happened.
Oh, so the universal greeting whenever you run into BC Steele.
Fair. So like it was so wonderful running into those guys. Like I said, there are so many other faces that I saw that I was like, holy crap, I didn't know you were gonna be on this show. I didn't know you were gonna be on this show. Or, I haven't seen you in months, years, whatever the case may be. Because again, they dusted off quite a few names that people came in, like they've retired, they've hung up their boots, and because of Jack Pollock and what he has given to the Pittsburgh wrestling community, they came back to be involved.
And just being a decent dude.
No, absolutely. And like I said, Sean Patrick, my absolute favorite referee in the Pittsburgh area, Sean Patrick. Love him. I saw him earlier.
Sorry, Ref George Ross.
Yes. Sorry, George.
Sorry, George.
But I saw him earlier in the show. But since he's retired from refereeing, he comes to shows as a fan. So I just, when I saw him in his T-shirt, I was like, oh, cool. He's here to hang out and he's going to watch the show. I'm going through the sequence to start the show. We are in the first match. Somebody does a zoom in, and I look and I'm like, oh shit, that's Sean Patrick. He's in the ring. He's reffing. This is so cool. He came out of retirement to ref for this. So like, it was such an amazing night that seriously, like I don't usually go back and rewatch our shows after the fact. This is one that I'm probably going to sit back and I'm just going to enjoy because there were so many things that happened. There was so much just craziness happening that I just want to go back and figure it out. So yes, there you go. That is what I have learned in wrestling this week, Sorg.
Real quick, catching up, and there's some what I learned here in the chat room, but also T-Pop did say a bit ago. Sorry, I got away from this tab. Produce shows that we're talking about are like a show where specific wrestlers handpick talents they want to showcase. They have a show coming up where Lee Moriarty, speaking of handpicked talent on that show. Speaking of people that you worked with this weekend, the main event, TME and Mikey Montgomery are teaming together on this show. So
nice.
Yeah, go check that out, guys. Also, BC Steel versus Bitch was a show that I didn't know I needed.
Yep.
T-Pop learned that WWE can't help themselves by ruining a good thing by giving Chad Gable a new awful AI butt rock sounding theme song. Oh, I haven't heard about this.
I kind of like it.
Okay, haven't heard it yet. Jim Johnston, I know, was ragging on AEW and WWE music these days. Tina Keys, wrestling in life, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Tekla is that bitch too. I need to watch Collision this week too. Tekla is amazing. A handful of wrestlers wanted a pick with me. It was nice, says Bradley. I understand there's first we need to do apparently an update of the Bradley t-shirt closet video, and Bradley had a violent conversation about a chair color. With the things I missed this weekend, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Mad Mike, for hanging out. Thank you everybody that was a part of making getting the Jack Pollock show out there for everybody to see there on Sunday. And thank you, Missy, for your tour of duty is over, running the show in my absence for the official travel season this year, as this is my last week on the road with our friends at SAE International for their events for the university programs. Follow us, Sorgatron, if you want to see what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. We have a lot of videos I've been sharing, a lot of interesting, fun stuff, including I'm wearing the t-shirt, the Strong Museum of Play. That's got some cool stuff, including Video Game Hall of Fame. And of course, Katie had to see the Hello Kitty stuff. So it was a good time, and we'll have a lot of pictures on there soon too. So thank you, guys. We'll be back in the studio next week. We'll be seeing who that guest is. We have a couple people. We just invited one here tonight, and a couple people that want to come on thanks to the last week's show. So we'll work out that through the week, and we'll have an announcement very soon. Until next time, Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.